What up? Something a bit about Uche or Ifi or Walker. You know what this video is about? Something I'm gonna say. People, young people, old people, any people, it's perfectly natural to argue with your parents sometimes. It's perfectly natural to argue with your parents sometimes. I don't, I, ne- I'm, not- I don't, but it's not natural to to go beyond that. It's perfectly natural to argue with your parents sometimes. Sometimes you need to express yourself and you need to say something. You need to get a point, of course, and sometimes your parents may not understand that, or sometimes your parents may need to express something and say something and get their point across to you, and you may not, and the child may not understand that. So either way, back and forth, whoever gets. Sometimes it's perfectly natural to argue with your parents sometimes. So I don't want anybody out there to think everybody with some relationships with some people, some parents and their kids have perfect relationships where they don't argue. Those are people are just unique. But I don't want anybody to think that everybody's kids and parents get along perfectly. They may when they're out around you get along, but when they're behind closed doors, sometimes they may argue. So don't think there's something wrong with you if you argue with your parents sometimes, or like or whatever. It's perfectly natural for sometimes for people to argue with their parents. Don't take it too far. It may get heated a little bit sometimes, but just just know you know, just know. But sometimes it's perfectly natural to argue with your parents. Sometimes it may get heated a little sometimes, and it's just a natural course of life for some people. Maybe not for everyone. Some people may get along perfectly with their parents and not argue, but for most people, probably that's not the case. So just realize it. Notice, don't feel too alienated that you think you don't get along with your parents. Everybody's like that. Lots of people are like that. More people than you know don't are arguing with their parents and not and something like that. I don't say ever get physical with your parents because that's disrespect and that's a no no. I'm black, so I know not to. No, I shouldn't say that because any race should know that. But I know never get physical with my parents. That's never the case with me. I never felt like that. I never felt that vibe in me. I never felt that circumstance come up. But that's disrespect. That should never happen. Your child should never raise your hand to your parents. So that's a no no. But I'm talking about arguing. People argue with their parents. It's a natural course of life. It's just the way it is. You have to. Sometimes you bump heads, and you may not. Sometimes they may not know you're a smart person. You have to get a point across, and they may not see the genius in you, or you may not see the genius in your parents, and you just unaware of what they're speaking about and what point they're trying to get across, and just may not know how bright they are sometimes. So just realize this. It's perfectly natural to argue with your parents sometimes. It's a natural course. Don't take it too far. Learn how to get along sometimes too. Don't argue all the time. Just get along. Don't argue too much. Just know that when you argue, that it's perfectly natural to argue sometimes. It does succeed sometimes and to a point where you don't argue, but sometimes you do argue, and it's just a natural thing. Just don't take it too far, and that's it. Peace.